All right, I'm the Flat Rate Master, and this is the biggest tip for better efficiency. And it's simply make sure you have all the parts you need. This is the most important thing. In most shops, either you have a service writer adding the parts to the ticket, ordering the parts, etc., and well, we know how good they are. To give some good examples, I had a service writer that didn't look at, any notations on anything, just ordered the first one on the list, online ordering. And so you do a Honda 100K service, you'd get AC Delco spark plugs because they were first on the list, and an AC Delco timing belt kit, and no serpentine belt, stuff like that. So we do things here a little bit differently. Because of those kind of issues. Yes, we're compensated for it, but the technicians here actually write up our own tickets. So when a car comes in, we diagnose it, we look it over, we actually put all the information in the system for, labor times, for what the job is, and then we add the parts. So if it's anybody's fault, it's ours. Are we perfect? No, but we're a lot better than most service writers. I can tell you that for a fact. When you tell a service writer over and over again, I need a water pump for this BMW, and he hands you a belt-driven water pump because it was the first on the list, even though you said electric water pump. Yeah, been there, done that. It sucks. So before you touch a wrench on a car, do not tear it down. I hate that. I hate it. I hate when I see technicians tear down a car when they don't have all the parts. Because trust me, in this day and age with everything going on, one little screw up means you don't have any parts and you've got a dead bay. So either you got to put it back together or you got to push it out, etc. Better just to not. Before you touch a wrench, make sure your parts are right. It happened to me today. Waited a day for an oil pan. The nut internally broke off for a quick lube. They put a temporary plug in, and I sold them an oil pan for obvious reasons. Whirlpack, who's never wrong, had only one option for the oil pan with the oil level sensor in it. Okay. Didn't give me a great picture of it, so I was like, okay, order that. Coming from out of state. Comes in, I pull in the car. I open the oil pan, look at it, look at the car, go, this ain't right. So I had to go back in. Luckily, two luckies on this one. Volkswagen, we've got online access to their parts catalog through RepairLink. And two, luckily they started selling them separately, because before they didn't, because I just needed the lower one, I didn't need the upper one, it wasn't leaking. And was able to get the part number, they had it in stock, boom, boom, boom. Hence my point. If I had not looked at the part, I would have had a dead bay with an oil pan missing, which means I would have had two dead bays because I've got another car over here that I'm tearing apart. I've got a car over here that I'm mostly done with. I got to put it all back together and I'm waiting on a hose because GM decided to make one hose basically not serviceable. PCV hose from the valve cover to the turbo. Yeah, quick connect. I don't got a tool that gets in that gap between the, the valve cover and the thing. It's one-time use, let me tell you. Didn't know I needed that, but other than that, I made sure I had all the other parts. But that was one of those things where I got into the job and realized that I needed it. Regardless, always verify that you have all of your parts. Worst thing you can do is start tearing down a car, realize you didn't have all the right parts, didn't have the right parts, and now you've got a dead bay. And a lot of shops, they've only got one bay, so you're kind of screwed at that point. You got to push stuff out. So verify you have parts before you start tearing down and you have the right parts. Simple tip, but you'd be surprised how many times this gets technicians. So as always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.